Do you love music? I really, really do love music. And one of my favorite types of music that I love is a song that tells a story. And so it's a little tongue in cheek marriage advice from Lady Gaga. I'll be honest, I don't follow her enough. I do not even know if she's married or not. But she has a song called A Million Reasons. And I love it because it speaks to truth. And I think one of the reasons that songs resonate with us so much, certain songs resonate with us so much, is when they have an element of truth to them that just hits the spot. Maybe it's a period in our life, or maybe it's a spot that we're going through. But so the song, A Million Reasons, it has a line in it that says, "You're giving me a million reasons to walk away. But baby, I just need one good one to stay." That is the best marriage advice in the world in a nutshell. So many times that we try to reduce marriage to, two people fall in love, they stay in love, they live happily ever after. Well, that'd be great if that were true. Um, but how do you even fall in love? And it's so funny that the way we fall in love is that we have positive thoughts about each other. I have positive thoughts towards you, you have positive thoughts towards me. So at the core of it all, a relationship, when you really, really break it down, a relationship is a collection of thoughts that you have towards another person. I have a great relationship with, say, I have a great relationship with my children. It's because I have great thoughts towards my children. I have a terrible relationship with my children. It's because I have terrible thoughts about that. Or I believe that they have terrible thoughts about me and I'm just mirroring those. So when it comes to marriage, this is going to sound so crazy simplistic, let's say, but it's really life changing if you'll embrace it. It's that if our marriage, if our relationship with our spouse is the accumulation of all of our thoughts, then all we have to do to raise the quality of our relationship to raise the quality of our thoughts. And so that is why I find it so incredibly intriguing, this song that Lady Gaga has. You're giving me a million reasons to quit the show, but baby, I just need one good one to stay. Because that puts the marriage equation into mathematical terms, as in there are a million slights that can happen when you're living so intimately with another person. And and believe me, I mean, millions, we think like what, 60,000 thoughts a day, maybe more. And if all of your thoughts are, he's so annoying. He chews so loudly. Why does he do that? Why does he keep on doing that? Why can't he close the door? Why can't he lower the seat of the toilet? Why can't he put his clothes away? Why can't he help me make the bed? Why can't he come home on time? Why can't what? We can have a million of those. I mean, and it just never ends. And the same thing goes towards ourselves. We can have a million negative thoughts. I'm too fat. I'm not interesting. He probably thinks that, I'm boring. Um, why doesn't he listen to me? I don't know. All of that to say, it doesn't take a lot to change the direction of your marriage. It takes the willingness to start uncovering those good thoughts, those thoughts that are so very powerful that they can replace a million poor thoughts, a million negative thoughts. I did a retreat recently, a very, very small, intimate retreat with some women. And afterwards, I was talking to the hostess of the retreat, and I asked her, I said, "What was the feedback?" And she said, the constant feedback, the one thing that was repeated more than once was this: "It sounds amazing, but it sounds hard." And I thought, "Oh my goodness, that is so curious." Because I remember my life before I started managing my thoughts. I remembered how I was going around totally unaware of my negative talk, totally unaware of my negative thoughts towards my spouse, totally unaware of the critical voice that was going on in my head. And then one day, a life coach challenged me to think about my thoughts. And so I started listening, and I'm like, whoa, there's a lot of chatter up there. And one by one, I started changing those thoughts. And some thoughts change very quickly. I mean, as soon as you heard it, you're like, well, that's ridiculous. I'm not going to think that anymore. That doesn't lead to any good ending. And then some thoughts, it's like, oh man, I have believed this one for a long time and it is not serving me. And I'm going to have to practice thinking a better thought. But I never thought that it was hard. I, because for me, I was in such a place that my thoughts were running my life, and I literally felt a little bit out of control of my own life. And so for me to finally feel like, "Oh, this is something I can control." And that was a beautiful thought. Like, maybe I can't control the whole world around me, but I can control my thoughts. And if I can control my thoughts, I can control my emotions in a positive way. I'm not saying not to have emotions. I'm saying not to be at the effect of them, like uncontrolled anger, uncontrolled frustration, having something go wrong and feeling like you cannot move past it, even though logically your brain is saying, "It's not that important." And it's like, but yes, it is. It feels like it's that important because the feeling is so intense. So to be able to just start listening to myself, listening to my thoughts, and start changing them one by one, it changed everything in my life. And it was just that little bit of 1% improvement. I've probably changed thousands of thoughts by now in the last 4 or 5 years. But my life is 1,000 times better. My relationships are 1,000 times better. My bank account is 1,000 times better. And that's not even the important part, but it does make a difference. My confidence is 1,000 times better. And so all of that to say, when you're feeling, and I want to bring this back to marriage because that relationship is such a beautiful relationship. And let's be honest, it can be really, really hard. It can be super hard to live so intimately with another person that most likely is your opposite. And when you really grasp, when I really grasped this idea that I could look at my husband and I could choose the thoughts I had towards him. As it now listen, I will also say a lot of thoughts come into our mind unbidden, okay? But they don't have to stay in our mind. We're not inviting all the thoughts into our mind, but we are allowing them to stay in our head. So, this is what I want to emphasize. If you could just grasp this one truth, that above all, be careful what you think because your thoughts control your life. And if you will take the time to be careful with your thoughts, you will see incredible fruit on the backside of it. And oh my goodness, in the context of marriage, I mean, think about this. This is how one person has the ability to transform a relationship. Because first, one spouse realizes, oh, my thoughts, I've got a I've got a million thoughts that are creating distance between me and my husband, creating all these feelings that I don't like, frustration, disconnect, um, loneliness, even. And if I start addressing them and I start replacing them with thoughts of appreciation and admiration, acceptance, even, um, each thought, it's like I move a little bit closer to him, a little closer to him. The thoughts that you think the most are the ones that you'll remember the most. So just start building the habit and see how much you can change your relationship. This is amazing. This is it still literally blows my mind. It blows my clients' minds when I talk to them about it. See how much you can change the relationship without actually changing the person. It's it's incredible. You can have this incredibly loving relationship, and you didn't change your spouse at all. And then this is what's freaky weird. Your spouse starts following your example. Your spouse starts borrowing thoughts from you. Instead of you borrowing thoughts from him, you guys exchanging, negative thoughts all day long because nobody's aware, nobody's thinking, nobody's intentionally thinking. Everybody's thinking, nobody's intentionally thinking. All of a sudden, he's going to start picking up on your thoughts. Why? Because it's that marriage formula. One powerful thought can replace a million other thoughts. So just give me one good reason to stay. You find your good reasons, maybe one, maybe more, and you reflect on those. And the best reasons are ones that create a sense of peace and security within yourself, a sense of confidence. You find those and you hang on to those. And when you're in the middle of a fight, go back to those. And when you're having a bad day, go back to those. And watch how just capturing your thoughts like that, taking your thoughts captive and then exchanging them, transforming your thought life will transform every aspect of your life relationally, emotionally, physically, spiritually. All right. Well, that's what I have for you today. I hope it's helpful. Oh, one more thing. If you would like help in this area, we have something special coming up. On June 5th, my husband and I are doing a 5-day Make Your Marriage Great Again challenge. 5 days. It's a crazy, crazy promise. It's 5 days. But here's the deal. Why take 5 years when you can do it in 5 days? So we're going to take what we've learned over 15 years of working in this area, and we've highlighted the exact 5 steps. And the reason this works is because we're doing them in a very specific order. Okay. So if you do them out of order, they just literally don't work as well. They take longer. But if you will focus on 5 simple actions across 5 days in a specific way, in a specific order, you will be amazed at the difference from Monday, June 5th to Friday, June 9th. So, if that is intriguing to you, if that sounds exactly what you are needing in your life is to make your marriage great again, because who wouldn't? A great marriage is 100 times better than a good marriage. It's easier too. Anyway, go to bragaboutmarriage.com/5-day challenge and just remember the advice from Lady Gaga and replace a million thoughts with one good one. Bye bye.